Pleasure today to introduce Mr. Bennett Jenisch. Bennett is originally from Frankfurt, Germany. He's a third-year music technology major. He just took my music composition seminar, and in this composition seminar he created a new work for a large forum. He created a work for the 5-time Grammy-nominated Boston Modern Orchestra Project, directed by Gil Rose. We had a special program where we invited the Boston Modern Orchestra Project to come in and read the student works, and then a month later, after getting that feedback, then do a recording for them. But this is not the first time he's had a lot of success. Bennett has won an award. He won the first prize in the MusicWorks magazine electronic music contest for his composition, was it Buried Gesture? Yes, and his music speaks much better than I do, so I will give him the floor. Thank you.
How's everyone doing? Awesome. That's good to hear. So I wrote, as Tony said, I took his Comp Seminar 2 class, I believe it was last semester, and I came up with a piece for 10 instruments, and I basically wanted to go through the process today with you guys, how I started, how it moved forward, and then where it ended up. So the piece I wrote was called Lichtkette, which means chain of lights in German. And basically it's just a commentary on how I composed, which I'll go through in a sec. So first off, I started just in a Logic file, same as Pro Tools. I basically have like a MIDI keyboard, and I hooked it up and just improvised little themes, note clusters, all kinds of different things. So you can see it's kind of just like 5 independent recordings that I did. And so that just basically creates MIDI data in that one track. And from there, what I basically did was split it up into 6 more tracks and just manipulate the MIDI data as I wanted to, kind of by ear. So empirical is one thing I learned from Tony, is basically take the MIDI data, copy paste, transpose it, loop it, do what you can to try to get new material out of it. So I started off with only 1 track of material, and as you can see, it kind of developed to a lot more. And different themes kind of arose from that, especially when you loop things on top of each other, or if you offset loops. So once you export this MIDI data, I put it into Finale, and you get something weird like this. I mean, it doesn't really make sense all the time. So like the third staff, for example, would be kind of hard to play or even read. So basically the goal then is to kind of organize it, clean it up, put it into 10 different instruments, and get all the voicings correct. So for example, the third staff, like I said, you could change that kind of the lower voicing. You could put that into clarinet, for example, and they have the top voicing be piano cluster chords. Or there's different kinds of possibilities how you can deal with this. And so basically I cleaned it all up, split it up, make sure everything's playable by the instrument, and as you can see here, this would be the next step. I have flute on the top, and clarinet, vibraphone, marimba, harp, piano, 2 violins, a cello, and a contrabass. And from here, I just exported it into separate, so each instrument has a separate score. So this would be like the score, for example, for 1 instrument. And that was my process. So now I'm going to play a little bit of the piece since presentations aren't so long. So I'll just play a little sample if my cursor comes up. Here it is. We have audio going.
Make sure that this is so I don't know.
So that was just a little sample, and Tony got us to record it, as he said, so it was an awesome experience, moving from, like I said, the Logic file all the way into getting a real recording like this with 10 musicians. You can't really beat it. And that's it. Thank you.